I know we might not be in an office per se, but from the world of our play, Maddie, you want to start it? Okay, so Maddie's going to start. You figure out something else you can be, or another person you could be.
We are interacting.
One person starts it, and then we all kind of
I mean, it was like, I mean, Shakespeare isn't like, I don't hate it. There's a lot of people who do, but it's not like bad to you guys.
Some of us actually enjoy it. That's cool.
I was really excited.
It's good to have a challenge.
It's not written in the same way a lot of the texts that are written today are. A lot of people are worried about slight variations in language.
And then paraphrasing and taking apart a small part of the scene in groups and then acting that out help us understand like what's happening in that particular section of the scene.
And just looking at the mechanics, like the rhythm and just what words really mean, what they sound like, stuff like that.
In the scene we're assigned, Iago meets up with Roderigo outside Desdemona's house, and they talk for a little while because Roderigo is frustrated that Iago's promise to help him get with Desdemona is not working, and then they decide to wake up Brabantio to get his attention.
Yeah. It's all about manipulation and how far people will go to get what they want. You know, people are inherently greedy and leads to destruction.
Well, what we did was like, we did a film noir idea, and we based it off like the characters in film noir, which are very like mysterious and shadowed. Like the original reason we got like the idea for film noir is because like it's black and white, and like that helps with the colors. It makes it really cool.
To be you.
I wandered around and finally found somebody who just had to be true. Tush, never tell me. I take it much unkindly that thou, Iago, who hath had my purse as if the strings were thine, shouldst know of this.
Blood, but you will not hear me. If ever I did dream of such a matter, abhor me.
Thou toldest thou didst hold him in thy hate.
Despise me if I do not. 3 great ones of the city in personal suit to make me his lieutenant off cap to him. And by faith of man, I know my price. I am worth no worse a place. He, as loving his own pride and purposes, non-suits my mediators. For certes, says he, I have already chose my officer. And what was he? Forsooth, a great arithmetician, one Michael Cassio, a Florentine who never set squadron in the field or the division of battle knows more than a spinster. But he, sir, had the election, and I, of whom his eyes had seen the proof at Rhodes, at Cyprus, and on other grounds, Christian and heathen, must be lead and calmed by debitor and creditor this countercaster. He, in in good time must his lieutenant be, and I, God bless the mark, his worship's ancient.
By heaven, it rather would have been his hangman.
Why, there's no remedy, 'tis the curse of service. Preferment goes by letter and affection, not by old gradation. But judge yourself whether I, in any just terms, am affined to love the more.
I would not follow him then.
Oh, sir, content you. I follow him to serve my turn upon him, and following him, I follow but myself. For when my outward action doth demonstrate the native act and figure of my heart to help my next turn, 'tis not long after but I will wear my heart upon my sleeve for daws to peck at. I am not what I am.
Full fortune does she owe if she can carry it thus.
Call up her father. Rouse him, make after him, poison his delight, proclaim him in the streets, incense her kinsmen.
Here is her father's house. I'll call aloud.
Do, with like timorous accent and dire yell, as when, by night and negligence, the fire is spied in populous cities.
What ho, Brabantio? Signor Brabantio, how?
Awake! What ho, Brabantio? Thieves! Thieves!
Thieves!
Thieves! Your house, your daughter, and your bags! Thieves! Thieves!
What is the reason of this terrible summons? What is the matter there?
Signor, is all your family with it?
Are your doors locked?
Why, wherefore ask you this?
Soon, sir, you're robbed. For shame, put on your gout, your heart is burst. You've lost half your soul. Awake the snorting citizens with a bell. Arise, I say.
What, have you lost your wits?
Most reverend Signor, do you know my voice?
Not I. What are you?
My name is Rodrigo.
The worse you're welcome. I have charged thee not to haunt about my doors. In honest plainness, thou hast heard me say, my daughter is not for thee. And now,
Sir.
in madness,
Sir.
upon malicious bravery,
Sir.
dost thou come to start my quiet? What tellst thou me of robbing?
Most grave Brabantio. In simple and pure soul, I come to you.
Soon, sir, we come to do you service, and you think we are ruffians.
What profane wretch art thou?
I am the one, sir, that comes to tell you your daughter and the war are now making a beast with two backs.
Thou art a villain!
You are a senator.
This thou shalt answer. I know thee, Rodrigo.
Sir, I will answer anything, but I beseech you, if be your pleasure and most wise consent, as partly I find it is, that your fair daughter, at this odd even and dull watch of the night, transported with no worse nor better guard, but with a knave of common hire, a gondolier, gondolier, to the gross class of the lascivious Moor. If she be in her chamber or in your house, let loose on me the justice of the state for thus deluding you.
Strike on the tinder hoe. Give me a taper. Call up all my people. Light, I say, light.
Farewell, for I must leave you. It seems not meet nor wholesome to my place to be produced, as if I stay, I shall against the Moor. In which regard, though I do hate him, as I do Hell-Pains, yet for necessity of present life, I must show out a flag in sign of love. Lead to the Sagittary, the raised search, and there I will be with him. So, farewell.
It is too true and evil. Gone she is, and what's to become of my despised time is not but bitter myth. Now, Rodrigo, where didst thou see her? Oh, unhappy girl. But the more, sayst thou? Who would be a father? Raised all my kindred. Are they married, think you?
Truly, I think they are.
O heavens, how got ye out? O treason of the blood! Fathers, from hence trust not your daughters' minds by what you see them act. Is there not charms by which the property of youth and maidhood may be abused? Have you not read, Rodrigo, of some such thing?
Yes, sir, I have indeed.
Do you know where we may apprehend her in the Moor?
I think I can discover him, if you please, to get good guard and come along with me.
Pray you lead on. At every house I'll call. I may command at most. Get weapons, ho! On, good Rodrigo. I'll deserve your pains.
avoid turning your back on the audience. So the more we can all stay like this, the better, right? So think about to apologize. That's what you're doing. You're apologizing to her that you failed her.
I have a love-hate relationship with Shakespeare, as I think many students do, but once I got into the story of the play and started like really digging in and picking it apart, it was a lot of fun.
Originally, I didn't really like Shakespeare, like the language and everything. It was really confusing to me.
I was excited about like when she said we could design like the set and stuff because I thought that would be fun.
I liked when we went to the auditorium and we all walked around the stage and she like said different like places or like people like that we should act like, and that was super fun.
In our scene, it's way at the beginning of the play. I think is it scene 2?
I think so, yeah.
So in our scene, it's the almost fight between Brabantio and Othello, where after Brabantio has found out that Othello has married his daughter Desdemona, he gets really angry and he decides to take a bunch of people to confront Othello.
Hold on. Love can be manipulated to be a dangerous weapon. We came up with the concept the Wild West. We found that it was a time of love and violence, and we thought that that related well with the theme statement and the overall theme of the play.
I think that we're hoping to do a lot with sound, costume, and even the way like the actors speak to sort of bring that environment to life.
Stuff of the conscience, to do no contrived murder. I lack iniquity, sometimes to do me service. 9 or 10 times I've thought to have yerked him here under the ribs.
'Tis better as it is.
Nay, but he prated and spoke such scurvy and provoking terms against your honor, that with the little godliness I have, I did full hard forbear him. But I pray you, sir, are you fast married? Be assured of this, that the Magnifico is much beloved, and hath in his effect a voice potential as double as the Duke's. He will divorce you or put upon you what restraint and grievous the law with all his might will give him cable.
Let him do his spite. My services which I have done the Signori shall out-tongue his complaints. For no, Iago, but that I love the gentle Desdemona, I would not put my unhoused free condition into circumscription and confine for the sea's work. But look, what lights come yond?
Those are the rays of Father and his friends. You were best go in.
Not I. I must be found. My parts, my title, and my perfect soul shall manifest me rightly. Is it they?
By Janus, I think no.
The servants of the Duke, and my lieutenant. The goodness of the night upon you, friends. What is the news?
The Duke does greet you, General, and requires your haste appearance, even on the instant.
What is the matter, think you?
Something about sours I made a mind. The Senate hath sent out 3 several guests to search you out.
'Tis well and I'm found by you. I will spin but a word here in the house, and we'll go with you.
Ancient! What makes he here?
Faith, he hath borne a land care. If it prove lawful prize, he's made forever.
I do not understand.
Married.
To who?
Married to... Come, General, will you go?
Out with you.
Here comes another chief to seek for you.
It is Brabantio, General. Be advised. He comes to bad intent.
Paula, stand there.
Signor, it is the Moor.
Down with him, thief!
You, Rodrigo. Come, sir. I'm for you.
Keep up your bright swords for the dual Rasta. Good senor, you should more command with your years than with your weapons.
O thou foul thief, where hast thou stowed my daughter? Damned as thou art, thou hast enchanted her. I therefore apprehend and do attach thee for an abuser of this world, and a practicer of arts inhibited and out of warrant. Lay hold upon him. If he resists, subdue him at his peril.
Hold your hands, both you of my inclining and the rest.
Were it my cue to fight, I should have known it without a prompt. Where will you that I go to answer this your charge?
To prison, till fit time of law and course of direct session call thee to answer.
What if I do obey? How may the Duke be therewith satisfied, whose messengers are here by my side, upon some present business of the state, to bring me to him?
'Tis true, most worthy Signor, the Dukes and Council and your noble self, I'm sure, is sent for.
How? The Duke and Council? In this time of night? Take him away. Mine's not an idle cause. The Duke himself or any of my brothers of the state cannot feel this wrong as for their own. For if such actions have passage free, bond slaves and pagans shall our statesmen be.
When we do this, we're going to be identifying the tactics that your classmate used to get the person out of the chair. I'm going to be putting them on the board, and we will not have any repeats. Yeah? All right, Caroline, you get the easy one because you're the first to go.
Wait, do I have to say no? Or like depending on what?
Just if she makes you uncomfortable, make it easy on your classmates. We don't want to make it easy.
A little nervous because of the vocabulary, but also excited because it was a different challenge.
I don't like Shakespeare personally, but since I got to do costume design, then it was really interesting.
I like theater a lot, but I'm not the biggest fan of Shakespeare, so I didn't.
The characterization workshops that we did, how we first tried to understand what was going on in the book and also in the play, and also how we can add more characterization to the characters so we can make them more alive. Okay, we're assigned Act 1, Scene 3, and in this scene we have Othello basically defending himself, saying that Desdemona actually loves him in front of Brabantio, and then Iago telling Roderigo to fight back, and then Iago first trying to get the idea that he's actually going to destroy Othello.
So our theme statement was about, we really wanted to focus on the greed aspect of the entire play because we really felt that greed played a very prominent role.
We came up with the concept of futuristic Roman Empire. So it's kind of like the Roman Empire never fell, and it's set in a futuristic tone. So it's going to be like really high-tech technology and more of a simplistic design, but it still has the weaves of Roman culture and its power.
Yeah, and it's like two different worlds. So instead of it being like Cyprus and Vienna, it's like two different, like literally two different planets that they're from. So they're going from one planet to another.
In these news that gives them credit.
Indeed, they're disproportioned. My letters say 107 galleys.
And mine 140.
And mine 200. Yet, do they all confirm a Turkish fleet and bearing up to Cyprus?
'Tis certain then, for Cyprus.
Here comes Brabantio and the valiant Moor.
Straight employ you against the general enemy Ottomans. I did not see you. Welcome, gentle Signor. We lacked your counsel and your help tonight.
So did I yours. Good your grace, pardon me. For my particular grief is of so floodgate and open nature that it neglects and swallows all other sorrows, and it is still in itself.
Why? What's the matter?
My daughter, oh my daughter!
Dead!
Aye, to me. She has been abused, stolen from me, corrupted, given spells brought off mountebanks, and here's a man, this Moor.
What, in your own part, can you say to this?
My very noble and approved good masters, that I have ta'en away this old man's daughter. It is most true. True, I have married her. The very head in front of my offending hath this extent no more. Rude am I in my speech, yet by your gracious patience, I will around unvarnished tale deliver of my whole course of love. What drugs, what charms, what conjuration, and what mighty magic for such proceeding I am charged withal. I won his daughter.
A maiden never so bold, of spirit so still and quiet, that emotions blush at herself, and she, in spite of nature, country, credit, everything, to fall in love with what she fears to look on. I therefore vouch again that with some mixtures powerful over the blood, or with some dram conjured to this effect, he wrought upon her.
To vouch this is no proof without more wider and more overt test than these thin habits and poor likelihood of modern seeming do prefer against him.
But Othello speak. Did he by forced and indirect courses subdue and poison this man's daughter?
I do beseech you, send for the lady to the Sagittary, and let her speak of me before her father. If you do find me foul in her report, the office, the trust I do hold of you, not only take away, but let your sentence even fall upon my life.
Fetch Desdemona hither.
Ancient, conduct them. You best know the place. Until she comes, as truly as to heaven, I do confess the vices of my blood. So justly to your grave ears, I'll present how I did thrive in this fair lady's love, and she in mine.
Say it, Othello.
Her father loved me, oft invited me, still questioned me the story of my life. From year to year, the battles, sieges, fortunes that I have passed, wherein I spake of most disastrous chances, of moving accidents by flood and field, of hairbreadth escapes to the imminent deadly breach, of being taken away by the insolent foe and sold to slavery of my redemption thence. It was my hint to speak, this to hear, would Desdemona with the greedy ear devour up my discourse. I often did beguile her of her tears when I did speak of some distressful stroke my youth had suffered. My story being done, she gave me for my pains a world of sighs. She swore in faith, 'twas strange, 'twas passing strange, 'twas pitiful, 'twas wondrous pitiful. She loved me for the dangers that I had passed, and I loved her that she did pity them. Here comes the lady, let her witness it.
I think this tale would win my daughter too. Good Brabantio, take up this mangled matter at the best.
I pray you, hear her speak. If she confess that she is half the lure, destruction in my head, and my bad blame light on the man, come hither, gentle mistress. Do you perceive in all noble company where you most owe obedience?
My noble father, I do perceive here a divided duty. To you I am bound for both life and education. My life and education both do learn me how to respect you. You are the lord of duty. I am hitherto your daughter. But here's my husband. And so much duty as my mother showed to you, preferring you over your father, so much I challenge that I may profess due to the more, my lord.
God be with thee, I have done. I am glad at soul I have no other children, for thy escape would teach me tyranny. 2 hang clogs on them. I have done, my lord. I humbly beseech you, proceed to state affairs.
The Turk with the most mighty preparation makes for Cyprus. Othello, the fortitude of the place is best known to you. You must therefore be content to sliver the gloss of your new fortunes with this more stubborn and boisterous expedition.
The tyrant custom, most grave senators, hath made the flinty and still couch of war, my thrice-driven bed of down. I do undertake these present wars against the Ottomites. Most humbly, therefore, bending to your state, I crave fit disposition for my wife. Due reference as place and exhibition, as levels with her breeding.
Most gracious Duke, to my unfolding, lend your prosperous ear.
What would you, Desdemona?
Let me go with him.
Let her have your voices.
Be it as you shall privately determine, you must await tonight.
With all my heart.
Good night to everyone.
Look to her more. If thou hast eyes to see, she has deceived her father and made thee.
Come, Desdemona. I have but an hour of love, of worldly matters and directions to spend with you. We must away the time.
Iago, what will I do? Thinkest thou?
Why, go to bed and sleep.
I will incontinently drown myself.
Why, thou silly gentleman.
It is silliness to live, but to live is torment.
Oh, villainous.
What should I do? I confess it is my shame to be so fond, but it is not in my virtue to amend it.
Virtue? A fig. 'Tis merely a lust of the blood and permission of the will. Come, be a man. I profess thee my friend, and I can never better stead thee than now. Put money in thy purse. Follow thou the wars. It cannot be that Desdemona should long continue the love to the Moor, nor he his to her. These Moors are changeable in their wills. Fill thy purse with money. She must change for youth. Once she is sated with his body, she will find the error of her choice. Therefore put money in thy purse. If thou wilt needs damn thyself, do it in a more delicate way than drowning. Make all the money thou canst, a pox of drowning thyself.
Wilt thou be fast to my hopes, if I depend on the issue?
I hate the Moor. Let us be conjunctive in our revenge against him. Thou canst cuckold him, thou dost thyself a pleasure, me a sport. Traverse, go provide thy money. We'll have more of this tomorrow. Adieu.
Where shall we meet in the morning?
At my lodging. No more drowning, do you hear?
I am changed. I'll go sell all my land.
And thus do I ever make my fool my purse. And for I mine own gay knowledge should profane, if I should time expend with such a snipe. But for my own sport and profit, I hate the Moor. And it is thought abroad that twixt my sheets he has done my office. I know not if to be true, but I, from mere suspicion in that kind, will do as if for surety. The Moor's of a free and open nature that thinks men honest that seem to be so, and will as tenderly be led by the nose as asses are.
This is all one thought to here, and this is all one thought to there. There. So the ship is here, put in Veronesa. That's where they put. That's where the ship
do I
put
have
in.
to say Veronesa?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Michael Cassio, lieutenant to the warlike Moor Othello, is come on shore. The Moor himself at sea and is in full commit. Do you see what I mean? So.